I want to see like real people, like with things on the line, and like they're.
And that's another thing, and that's one thing you said. Real people with things on the line.
Yeah,
that's a good point. That's a good point, because that's another thing that I took issue with this Force Awakening. And then I take issue with any kind of action comedy movie.
Right.
You know, when they try to blend. It's a very tricky genre to blend action and comedy, or like drama and comedy. Unless it's like a dark comedy.
Right.
You know, that's the route you kind of have to take it.
Right.
Because when you're just like, when you're blending those two, oftentimes what happened, and it's exactly what happened with Force Awakens, is it just seems like the characters have nothing on the line because they're just joking about everything.
Right.
And it takes away the suspense. It takes away my care for the character because they don't care about the situation. So I don't give a fuck about them. What's going to happen in the situation? I was watching the movie and I didn't care about anything bad that happened to any of the characters. When Poe first got captured in the very beginning of the movie by Big Nose, dorky dude,
Big Nose,
by the worst First Order Sith Lord that you could possibly cast.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't care. Because, like, when they went face to face, he was joking. He's like, oh, am I supposed to talk first? You're supposed to talk first?
Right.
He did this little joke thing. And I was like, this dude doesn't care. He has nothing on the line. It makes it seem like you have nothing on the line.
Furthermore, take out Poe, and Poe should have been just the black guy.
Yes.
Poe and the black guy should just all been one.
Yes. Poe and Finn, those characters should have been one character.
Yep.
It just seemed awkward that you had that many characters that were supposed to be important.
Yes.
And they all just had no place. None of them had a place. Finn didn't have a place. Poe really didn't have a place. Even Han Solo, like, what was his purpose in this film?
Dude, Han Solo, his purpose was to die like a bitch.
His purpose was to die like a bitch.
But honestly, to dumb it down for the listeners a little more. But really, Han Solo was literally just there to be like a narrative device. That's the only reason he was there. So you could his death could tug on your heartstrings. So it could contextualize Kylo Ren's character a little more and just make you care more. But you shouldn't be killing beloved old characters from other movies to try to spark an emotion.
They should have killed Kylo Ren so he wouldn't be in any other movies. Let's be real.
It should have.
I can't take this dude. I can't take him seriously.
It should have been reversed.
It should have been reversed. That should have been.
Solo should have should have tried to kill his son for the good of like the galaxy.
Han Solo should have been forced
to
kill his son for the good of the galaxy. That should have been a character development. For the Han Solo character.
Yes.
That should have been like a dark shift in his character that he had to kill his son.
Because he's a father now.
He
cares about that.
That's why he took off in the first place, because he couldn't stand the broken family that he created. He couldn't stay with Leia because he took the guilt of his son leaving. He took that on him. So that's already a narrative tool that's being worked within him.
Yeah.
You should have had them fight at the end.
Yup.
You should have had the classic smuggler v Jedi fight at the end.
Yup.
And then had the legendary Han Solo have to take out his son.
And then he fails.
He fails taking out the son?
Yup. But he like gruesomely disfigures him or like chops up an arm.
He thinks he killed him.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good.
He thinks he killed him. Everybody thinks he's dead.
Yup.
But he's not dead. And the worst part of it that Han Solo's character has to deal with is that everybody looks at him as a hero because he took out like the main Sith Jedi Lord Jedi dude. He took him out, and everybody's like, dude, this Han Solo character is the real deal. Because that was the biggest thing in the movie. Yeah. Everybody's like, oh, you're Han Solo. Is this Han Solo?
Right.
Is this the legend? Is this the legend?
Yeah.
You get to the end of the movie, he is the legend.
Right.
He took out the dude. The smuggler just took out a Jedi. And so everybody praises him for that, but that's something that he's dealing with eternally. Because maybe a lot of people don't know that that's his son. Maybe nobody knows that that's his son. And that's just something he has to deal with eternally. And then in the next movies, people are always like, yeah, I'll pat him on the back for that. And that's just like, it just broils the pain in him every time somebody praises him for that.
And the reason he wasn't in the rebellion, because he knew if he was, he'd have to kill his son sooner
have to face his son
later.
Yes. J.J. Abrams, what are you doing? He got a writing credit for this movie.
We should
and
get
like
writing
some other
credit.
dude. We should get a writing credit for this movie. That's what it should have been.
It should have been. And in the second one, Kylo Ren comes back, cyborg, mutant, total shaved head maybe, like some dope, like futuristic, like Eon Flux look. And he should have killed Han Solo in that second one.
Should have killed Han
And
Solo
yep.
in numeral dos.
Yup.
That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to keep the feel of their original movies in this new set of movies.
Right.
But they did it the wrong way. They basically took everything that's wrong with the old movies and they polished it up with the new movies because they're trying to keep that same feel.
Yep.
Because they're probably too afraid of failure. How you really keep that feel is through narrative devices like that. That's exactly what happened in the old movies. In the second movie, Han Solo basically died when he got froze.
Yeah.
And then they brought him back and unfroze him in the third one.
Right.
Right? So you take those narrative mechanics and you reappropriate them to the new series.
Yep.
But you make Han Solo actually die in the
Yep.
second one this time
Yep.
because his luck ran out. That's
Yep.
another thing. That could be another one of his like little narrative tropes.
Yep.
Because he says that, he's like, oh, he kept on talking about his luck. And that's the thing. Han Solo always gets lucky. He always gets lucky. His luck ran out. In the second one, and he finally dies. It always catches up with you. That's the narrative that you want to tell. It always catches up with you. And Anakin back into Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Now they're bringing Kylo Ren
Kylo
back into the new Vader.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's how you keep the same feel of the old movies and reappropriate it to the new
Yes,
movies.
I love it.
They did
And
it all wrong.
you remember when Han Solo got like frozen in carbonite?
Yeah.
Han Solo at the end of the first one, when he thinks he kills his son, it should be like a form of carbonite, but it's like new, and it's even like worse than the first one, and no one survives it, and it just like maybe like freezes your body or something.
Yeah.
Freezes your
Something
body.
like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And then someone comes, and then like they're like put like a scanner on his heart or something. He's like he's still alive, but he doesn't have much time. He's like his extremities are probably dead though. Something like that, you know what I'm saying?
And that's what pushes Kylo Ren.
Yes!
I'll just call him the girls chick.
No,
Or
yeah,
the girls dude.
Kylo Ren.
That's what pushes the girls dude further into the dark side. Because, and that's also a thing that they should have done. They should have played more with his pull to the light side.
Right.
They did a little bit, but that should have been one of his main
Yeah.
kind of character tropes is his struggle with going to the light, going to the dark. That was a good idea because they've never had that struggle. They've never
Right.
shown that struggle in any Star Wars
Should
movie.
I go to the light or dark? Right.
They always showed the struggle of going to the dark side.
Right.
They never showed the struggle of somebody from the dark side going to the light side. That's something that was dope, but they should have played on that a little better.
Yeah.
A little more. Not him having some like creepy monologue with like his grandfather's melted armor.
So stupid.
You know, maybe have something like maybe he has a soft spot. Maybe he has a soft spot for something.
For his father, and that's why he doesn't kill him, but Han Solo kills him.
Yeah.
He shows mercy on Han Solo, and Han Solo just repays him with fucking trying to kill him.
Yes. Yeah. And then it's only his rage that keeps his heart beating.
Yeah.
It's the dark side of the Force
Yeah.
and the rage that keeps him alive. And then they go get his body.
Yes.
And they're like, how did this dude survive this? And that's exactly what they did with Anakin and Darth Vader.
Right.
It was his rage that kept him alive after he fell in that lava.
Right.
It's Kylo Ren's rage. That's what makes you a great dark Sith Lord.
Yep.
Is that insurmountable rage that keeps you going after something travesty happens to you, right?
I want to see the movie.
And then they're like bringing him alive on the surgery table, and he's just like his rage is still there. And he's just like killing the people, and like it's just like but it's the what they call him, Snow. Did they call him Snow?
Yeah.
Snow.
Or Snowed or Snow. I don't know.
Whatever the Great Lord is.
The Great Lord.
He like grabs a dude, heads his like surgery.
Yeah.
Grabs the girl's chick, heads the surgery back, trains him. Now he's dope. Now he's better than Vader.
Now
Better than Vader
he's finished his
ever would be.
training.
Finished his training. Because that's what they did at the end.
Yeah.
He was like, bring him to me.
Yeah.
We're going to finish his training. He should have died, right?
Yup.
Snow should have sensed the dark side in him growing in his half-dead corpse.
Yup.
Sent out a scavenger team to go recover the body.
Motherfucking
They're
yup.
like, yo, Snow, I'm sorry, but the dude is dead. Let him go. And
Yeah.
he's like, he's not dead. Go get me his body.
Yeah.
And it gets in the body, and he's like, it's time to finish your training.
He's like, you've started it. He's like, half the training's over. Like, the next half's
And he's
gonna be
like,
worse.
Maybe Snow knew this was going to
Yeah,
happen.
it was all
Maybe
planned.
Snow orchestrated
Yep.
the fight on his father
Yep.
because he knew that's what it takes for you to be a great Sith
Yes.
Jedi. And he's like, now your training begins.
And he's like, that whole space station, the planet space station, that was stupid, by the way. The Star Eater, the Star Killer,
the Star Destroyer,
Star Destroyer, or whatever.
which was like 1 billion times bigger than the Death Star.
Yeah.
Bigger is not always better,
No.
homie. This weapon is going to do far more
Yeah.
destruction. When he says this weapon, he's referencing the girl's chick that he's training up. And he's like, this weapon is going to do far more destruction than the Star
Right.
Destroyer
Right.
ever could.
That was for your training. Yeah, exactly. That was for your training. That was only for your training. It was like, I made
Orchestrated.
it to be destroyed.
And then there's this thing going around that Snow is actually Darth Vader.
Oh.
I heard that somewhere. That would be dope if he actually was, because then that's the same thing that he went through.
Yeah.
And he knows that's what it takes.
Right.
So he's going to put girl's chick through it too,
Yeah.
to make him the dope Jedi to do his bidding.
That'd be so dope.
All that
Secondary story.
secondary story.
Secondary story.
All that secondary story.
Yeah, put it in the secondary.
Put it in the secondary.
Yeah.
You still need to fix the main story.
Oh, for sure.
Still need to fix
Oh,
that
for sure.
deplorable story.